MMTLP versus FINRA has some new revelations. So was this manipulation always planned, and what do you need to know? Sit tight as we answer that by going through recent news as well as my MMAT chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, investors are signing a petition to win this fight against FINRA, with social media furious about this manipulation, and some people even are digging deep to find out possible links. MMTLP apparently was not supposed to be traded as its metamaterials preferred share and not a normal stock. Global Trading Systems CEO Ari Rubenstein is being blamed as the center point of this problem, as he had a sell position in Torchlight before the merger, and his company also issued the MMTLP ticker. Ari Rubenstein is also a member of FINRA's board team and is a market maker. A good news is that AMC apes are supporting the community in this battle, making MMTLP trending on Twitter. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. We're now in the 1-day chart for MMAT, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But before we talk about that, now first up, of course, we know that the stock is falling in the pre-market, right? It's being affected by the MMTLP situation. And before we move on further into this video, we'll have to talk a bit about the MMTLP situation, right? I was just browsing Twitter, and I saw that a person has said, or rather he shared screenshots of his chat with an employee from Fidelity, right, from the support option, of course, and they said that you can start selling the shares tomorrow. And that, of course, if you talk about tomorrow, I believe that, they were talking about Monday, but they might be talking about Tuesday as well. So I'm not too sure about what's going to happen then. And at the same time, I personally don't really believe that a single brokerage can do anything, right? The bigger problem, as we already discussed in the previous part, that Rubenstein being included in all of this is a massive problem, right? Not legal advice or not financial advice, any of that stuff, just my own opinion, but Rubenstein being included in all of this, the fact that MMTLP was a preferred share and it was never supposed to be traded, yet it still continued to be traded for 1.5 years, and not even traded, it continued to get shorted for 1.5 years is something that honestly does surprise me, right? And considering the fact that so many shares did get a short squeeze around that time back in 2021, this might actually have been something that has been planned on by a long time, right? Since a long time. And I'm not suggesting that it was planned out because, of course, not a legal advisor, not legal advice, right? I'm no one to speak about this on a legal perspective, but in my own opinion, it just seems a bit out of the ordinary, right? Considering the fact that so many short squeezes were happening over there right back then in 2021, and at the same time, someone comes up, publishes a ticker, right? Issues a ticker that was never supposed to be there, then continues to short it until the point that it goes down. Once it goes down, everyone is excited that, hey, the company is going private, we'll get a short squeeze. But at the same time, FINRA comes in and they're like, hey, we actually didn't tell you this before, but now we're halting trading. That's just fishy, right? There is no other way to describe this than say that it is fishy, right? It's not something that I personally can believe happened out of nowhere. And honestly, I believe that Palikaras should really open up on this and comment, which I believe that he might not be able to because of some legal reasons, right? He might have signed the contract or something like that, with, which is why he's not talking about it right now. But if you ask me, that's really important that he talks about it because, well, it's his company in the end, and more than his company, it's all of you guys' company, right? You're the shareholders, you run the company. But at the same time, this, of course, is kind of injustice, I would say. So we'll be first waiting for, something from Palikaras himself. And secondly, of course, we'll have to wait a bit to see if MMTLP will be trading today, right? Which, well, it is not, right? We can see that we did fall below the original $5 levels and all of that stuff, right? We had, I kind of broke all of my levels over here. And at the same time, coming back to MMAT, we're going up a bit today, which I don't know what's causing that, right? I thought we would go down, but then again, it might just be a normal pullback or rather a breather to the upside, right? Now, if we talk about the future of what's going to happen after this, well, first up, a class action lawsuit would probably be useless, right? Considering the fact that most lawyers would just take a big chunk of your money, it's And the second part is that it will take a lot of time, right? It's not going to get sorted out in a single day, which of course it should be, right? It should be sorted out in at, at max it should be sorted out in like a week or something, right? I'm not even talking about a single day, or rather 2 days or 3 days. It should be sorted out by this week's end, and that would be a something good, right? Something good coming out of this within a week. That's something that might be acceptable, but at the same time, considering the rage that people have, and rightfully so, is I don't think that it will be calms down, or rather cooled off that quickly, right? Paligoras has some serious explaining to do. All of the FINRA officials, they have some serious explaining to do, which, well, if you ask me what's my gut feeling, I don't think that they will do all of that explaining, because they've already shown what they can do and their power over retail traders, and I do think that they'll continue to take that and keep that power to themselves as the market progresses. But now we also have to analyze MMAT. So, considering the factors that are going on over there, right? If people at least get their next bridge hydrocarbons dividend shares, that would at least be something, right? And we're not even talking about $100 or $1,000 price, even if they get a $40, a $30, $50 price, which honestly should be done, because considering that next bridge would have those assets, right? The 3.2 billion oil barrels, the 1.35 or 135,000 acres of land, I believe it was, right? Those assets will bring in somewhere around a few $1 billion, and they said that all of that money would probably be distributed among shareholders, right? And those shareholders, of course, would receive between $40 to $120 per share, which, of course, I didn't say that, right? I got it from some sources. And at the same time, if you can see at the price action, right, we went down by 6%. And why did this happen? We all know it, right? So I do believe that until this gets sorted out, MMAT will continue to fall. And, we all know why, right? MMAT will probably continue to fall. And I can't even give you guys support and resistance levels on this one, because it won't just matter, right? This is a completely different issue than a normal stock, right? Because then again, it's a crazy mess, right? We don't even know yet if Palikoras was involved in this or not, which I personally think that he might be, because you can't really skip on all of that stuff, right? It won't just happen under your nose, right? It won't just happen in front of your eyes. That's what I personally believe, but I could be wrong. So, of course, I'm not blaming anyone or making any claims. That's just my own opinion. But then again, if we want to analyze the stock further, we'll have to jump on into the 1 hour chart, and we can do more of the chatting over there. And now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can see that we did get a fall as we expected, right? We did get a pin bar yesterday as well over here, which kind of indicated another fall. We did get four, or rather six reversal patterns over here, which is kind of weird, right? Not exactly six, yeah, four reversal patterns. So two reversal patterns with four, pin bar candles. One to the upside, that happened, right? And one to the upside again, that did not happen. But at the same time, we did get a pin bar on the lower side, right? So that kind of got us this $1.29 thing, right? We're already down 9.15%. So where are we heading today? Well, if you ask me, it might go all the way down to a dollar today, right? Mondays are full of volatility, and that's what I believe, right? Mondays are full of volumes as well, so we might actually fall down all the way towards the $1 level. And no one's happy about that, but at the same time, we can't really unsee the facts or what's going to happen, right? But I do believe that if everything gets sorted out pretty well on MMTLP, we might get to see the stock perform better. And of course, if, we already discussed the next bridge share prices, if people get their valuation, right? If people get the value that they deserve for those next bridge shares, which I'm pretty sure that they will get, right? The companies are not going to slip to that big of a low, right? They will probably get their next bridge shares. And once they do and they get their money, that's when I believe MMAT will really go up. But until then, I don't really think that MMAT will go up, because, of course, now investors have a bigger reason to fear this, right? And they probably won't touch this until they know that, it's completely a green light. But with that, of course, I want to see what's going on in the complete detail, so we'll jump on into the 5-minute chart. And now that we're in the 5-minute chart, we'll have to get some more details. So for that, we'll get the extended trading hours as well. And now that they're here, we can see that we did get a stronger gap down even around the $1.2 or rather the $1.25 range. We fell down around 1.23 and then we recovered a bit only to get a gap down around 1.33. Then we did go up, got resisted $1.4, right? $1.4. Let me move that up a bit. $1.4 and currently we're trading at $1.27, down 10.5%. Right? We can see that the trend, of course, bearish, right? And that's pretty expected, right? We all expected this, that the stock would fall. And I hope that some of you guys can kind of cover up your losses. And I hope at least that most of you are not in any loss, which honestly is hard considering the situation. But then again, as I already told you, that I do believe everything will get better, and we can only do one thing, and that's hope for the best. The bigger holders, right, if you're holding a big amount of money, you might be able to get some powerful stuff, right? You might be able to get lawyers and stuff like that. So I hope that works out, right? I hope the court proceedings go well. If in case, a case brews up, if in case, what do you call it, a loss up gets brewed up, then I will really hope that the retail investors can win because, of course, retail for the win forever. And with that being said, remember that this most definitely is not financial advice and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit that dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.